Bim bam. My sidekick, Sol. But she's kind of like really sleeping on her job right now. Yeah. I'm back to using my old-fashioned old-school camera. The quality of the image might not be so perfect, but at least I hope that we're fixing some of the sound problems. That is until I manage to save up and I will buy a more high-quality microphone, and I'll go back to using the previous camera and I'll fix some of the projector noise problems. Thank you so much for letting me know, guys. And by the way, in today's reading, we have a sidekick. That is my second cat, Soul, who decided to just join the background, okay? Let's get into it then. Hey crew, welcome back to the Spiritual Social. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight for another pick a card reading on the topic of who wants you right now. I just thought we would explore a more straightforward topic. Jupiter is in Taurus, Mars is in Leo, Pluto just switched back into Capricorn. The times are momentous. There's a lot of stubborn energy in the sky, and I just thought we would look into the more physical, kind of lusty aspects of a romantic connection. So this applies to those of you who are trying to manifest a more physical relationship into your life, but it also applies to those of you who are already crushing on somebody, or you're in a connection with somebody and you're just here wondering, does this person that I'm thinking of want me, or is it somebody else? Let's explore. So I have here for you 3 objects that were taken from my little charm pot. I have it over here, and I just thought that I would use my intuition to pick a couple of them. So I hope Saturn and Pisces has not completely blocked my intuition. I hope it's still working. And I felt drawn for group 1 towards this slipper. I hope you guys can see it because I'm using my old camera, since a lot of you complained that the new camera I have is basically recording with a lesser sound quality, and until I get a more professional and high quality microphone, I'm just gonna go back to what I know best. So sorry for that little interruption explanation, but for group 1 I have here this slipper. So it's a pin. You can actually attach it to a blouse or whatever else you're wearing, a dress, and it's an old-fashioned, I think it's Turkish slipper, I would say. Anyway, it's very beautiful. And then we also have here for group 2 a coin, and this is a really funny coin because it represents 15 bani, or 15 bani in Romanian. I think I found this once when I went to the cinema. It was just on the carpet in front of me, and it is part of the Socialist Republic of Romania. It's from 1975, when Romania was back in its glory days, being a communist republic. So yeah, I'm just kidding, of course. I'm not glorifying communism. It was an interesting experiment that unfortunately failed in a very disastrous and bloody way in my country. So that's for you, group 2, a little bit of history as well packed into that choice. And for group 3, we have here a gray hematite heart. It's a pendant. You can attach it to a necklace. Hematite is magnetic. It's a crystal that has some metallic properties as well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you're feeling like you want to pull in a person. Maybe there's a person that's irresistibly drawn towards you right now. We'll find out. Take a moment now. Maybe take a deep breath with me. There we go. And once we've taken this deep breath, let's choose with our hearts rather than our eyes. Even if the objects seem quite enticing, I would strongly recommend that you choose by the first thing that you feel intuitively drawn towards. I'm sure that a lot of you who are veterans on my channel already know the drill, but I need to keep repeating the... I'm sorry, a lot of German words keep popping up in my mind because during my day job I have to speak a lot in German. So Gebrauchsumleitung, for example, that's what came up. So I need to kind of let people know, those of you who are rookies, who just stumbled upon in a corner of YouTube on this type of reading, what is this? How am I supposed to use it? How do I play along? Where you basically choose one of these objects and then you click on the corresponding timestamps and go ahead, have fun, open up your mind and dive deep into occult, spiritual tarot readings. I hope you guys will enjoy it. I also want to tell you guys that I just finished uploading new content on my Patreon and on my Light and Solar Crew memberships. I'm back at them after I took a break. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Even if you decide not to support me financially in any way, I still love you guys, I still appreciate you, and I hope I'll be able to keep creating these readings at a more steadier pace in the coming weeks or months. There's been some pretty important changes happening in my life. I will talk about the things I've been experiencing because it's been a roller coaster of emotions. Spirit has been really testing me, and it's just the beginning of my Saturn conjunct Sun transit. So yeah, it's gonna be an eventful 2 years. But I will make a vlog on my second channel, Eden, at some point and let you guys know what's been happening. I'm not being cleverly mysterious or anything like that. It's just been so much to process. And yeah, I wanted to keep things separate, my personal energy separate from these readings I'm doing. But yeah, I love you so much. I'm still here. I'm still open for personal readings. Thank you once again for your support. And for those of you who have been working with me in the last 2 years, it's phenomenal to see the progress. I'm so proud of you guys. And I cannot be more grateful for the fact that I get to work with such incredible people. All this being said, let's jump straight into your reading. Let's find out who wants you. Mwah. Hey group 1, how are you, my loves? I hope you're doing excellent, and if not, I hope that with this reading I'm able to, I can't speak, I'm able to bring some happiness or some inspiration into your life. I'm gonna take a sip from my coffee. I am encountering some problems in the building in which I live, and I can only film at specific times of the day, and especially after 11 o'clock. So I need some coffee to get me through. Thank you so much for all of you who support me. So I have here your object, which is this, I think this is marcasite. This is the style of making this really fine metal kind of lace. It looks to me like metal lace. And we have here the slipper. Unfortunately, this is not my high quality defining camera. I had to switch back to my old one for a while until I fixed the sound problems that you guys have been mentioning in a previous reading. But I hope you can get an image of this beautiful kind of like Turkish oriental slipper that you were drawn towards. So intuitively, I feel like this person feels like you slipped into their life, like you are somehow a very good match, a good fit. You know how when you put your foot into a really nice fitting shoe, it's like, oh wow, finally, you know, this is the one. I'm not exactly sure, I don't want to give you false hope. I'm not exactly sure if the person that wants you at the moment really thinks of you as the one. We'll see what cards you got, but there is an inkling here that they had for a split second the thought that, wow, you're really something. Yeah, which is incredibly flattering. But let's see, let's find out who this person is. I'm gonna try to give you as many clues as I can. So you got the cards dreaming, and the keywords are gifts, receiving, and dreams. So somebody Neptunian, Pisces energy potentially. We have here repose. Oh yeah, this person loves to rest. They could be sleeping at the moment, or they could be in a very sleep-like state. We have here pause, respite, and time out. It could be that they are injured, or there might be some sickness that they need to tend to. They could also be on a holiday at the moment. You might have met this person while you were trying to recover from a sickness, while you went on a holiday, while you were at a wellness retreat, spa center. You were doing something to take care of your health, they were doing the same, and boom, this is how you might have met. And if you're watching this in order to manifest somebody, because this applies to you too, boo, okay, then this is where you're going to meet this person, at a wellness retreat, holiday, getaway, spa kind of environment. It's something detached from normal, ordinary work routine or the city environment or the kind of daily schedule that you need to follow. This is not Virgo energy. This is the opposite, Pisces, Neptune. So it's about traveling far away from home, secluded spaces, spaces in which reality tends to be suspended. Like if you think of a cinema, right? That's where we go and see fantasies projected onto the silver screen, right? So there is this energy of detaching from reality for a period of time, and that's where you guys met or you will meet. Let's see the other cards. We have here the first house, the body. So somebody physically fit, somebody that really prioritizes physical well-being. This could be a trainer, a yoga teacher, a fitness guru, a bodybuilder, somebody that just really works with their physique. This person, I'm hearing, for some of you, could have Saturn in the first house, and they're really trying to discipline their body because it's part of their karma. They get to know who they are by working on their body. They find out their personality in very pragmatic ways by listening to their body. We also have here Chiron, healing. Wow, so this is something, okay? It's a connection that could feel deliciously painful. It could feel like this person wants you in a way that it hurts them. It hurts them to tell you, it hurts them to feel it, but yet at the same time, the hurt helps them grow, because you know, Chiron is the wounded healer. You grow through intense pain. Yeah, it's that kind of pain where you're wounded, as you guys know in the myth, by the blood of the Hydra, which is this mythical creature that kind of tormented you until you died. But because Chiron was, immortal, the card is flying from my hand. Because Chiron was immortal, he was wounded and he suffered without end. So in order to end his pain, he sacrificed himself for somebody else. And he wanted to trade places with Prometheus, but then the gods saw his altruism and they decided to make him into a constellation instead. So they allowed him to die, and then he got resurrected as a constellation, the constellation Sagittarius. So maybe this individual is a Sagittarius, has Chiron in the sign of Sagittarius. You could have some karmic placements with this person in Sagittarius. One of you could have Saturn in Sagittarius, the other one Chiron there, which is ouch. That's a really painful connection, because by withholding love, the other one from the other one, you are able to heal the other person. It's a very contradictory way of healing somebody, because you would think that by loving them you heal them, but Saturn is the disciplinarian, the stricter energy, and one of you, I think, in this connection might take on the role of a parent, a counselor, a mentor, somebody that helps elevate the other one through pushing them away, through separation, through telling them, no, do it again, you can do it better. That's Saturn energy, you know. So the person who wants you feels a little bit like a masochist in this connection. It's like, I don't want to want you, but I do want you, but I don't. Oh, it hurts when I think, oh, but I have to, because this is good for my soul on some level. Not so good for the ego, because the ego is the one that takes everything very personally and makes a drama out of every small detail. The soul, the self, is always curious, is always learning. It's like, ooh, a new experience. Oh, okay, I'm feeling this pain. Why am I feeling this pain? Oh, wow, this person, I don't really like them, but maybe they're good for my growth. Maybe they're a nemesis from a previous lifetime. What's going on here? So the soul is always trying to connect you to the divine, to help you access the spiritual lesson of a situation, while the ego is always like, nah, I don't want this. Bye, I'm done. This is too painful. This is too much commitment, responsibility. Yeah, Sorry, so just a small primer for some of you who are a little bit confused on the difference between ego and self, but I'm sure that if you're here for a while now on my channel, you already know that. So sorry for repeating myself. We have here the Five of Air. So the Five of Air, what a beautiful card. It's been a while since I've been using the Good Tarot, but I just thought I should use it tonight. So Five of Air is the Five of Swords. This is the energy of mental, verbal, communicative dominance. Somebody who always wants to win in a conversation. You know, I'm right and you're wrong. So the person who wants you could be somebody that you had an argument with, a person that, a somebody, maybe you don't even want to mention their name. You relegated them to the level of that's just somebody, you know. So it could be somebody that you work with, somebody that you studied with, somebody that you classified as, you know, an a-hole or maybe an assholette. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know exactly. I'm trying not to say rude words, but I'm sure that you get the picture. We have an individual that is kind of treading, walking on tiptoes, you know, treading on a fine line when they're near you, because they know that the situation is a little bit, you know, one of you could be triggered at the slightest move, at the slightest word, at the slightest sound. So the energy between the two of you is quite tense. It's quite electric. I think both of you are quite intelligent people, but you kind of have to change the way you communicate in order to kind of make this connection happen if you want. I definitely feel that the person who wants you more than you would ever want them. Okay, so just to clarify it from the beginning, and this could be somebody who is now fantasizing about you after you had some sort of verbal altercation with, you had a discussion, an argument, and you decided, oh, that's it, I'm done with this person, yuck. But they started like craving you. Human nature is a many-folded, wonderful thing, right? So we have here the Three of Water. And some people do find arguing to be erotic, to be a turn on, you know? Anyway, coming back to this card, we have the Three of Water. So this tells me that this is an individual that at some point, I feel when you met or you're about to meet this person, I feel like initially you will have like this great contact, this great rapport, you will have fun. You will meet this person in some sort of atmosphere of celebration and people feeling good. There will be lots of things to eat, lots of things to drink. People will be feeling like almost like after hours, after a long day of work, people from work gather to have some nibbles, to talk, to gossip, you know, to exchange information and maybe to hit on each other. So we have here the Three of Water, an individual that is prioritizing careful, considerate emotional communication, because the Three of Water in certain decks represents Mercury in Cancer. So maybe you have this placement or they have that, or it could have been that you guys met when Mercury was in the sign of Cancer. This is important. It's a lot about ingrained unconscious patterns of speaking that could be interfering with the way in which you guys try to express your feelings towards each other. One of you had a strict parent that always corrected their speech, like a, you know, a grammar Nazi mother or father, and that's why they're incredibly careful with how they speak, when they speak, when they open their mouth. And the other one is driven a little bit mad by this behavior because you are more free-flowing, more creative with the way in which you use words, in which you put your feelings into words. There is a little bit of a conflict inside of this person that wants you regarding whether they should allow themselves to feel good when they are around you or not. It's almost like this person would want to go out with you and have drinks and celebrate and feel good, but then it's like as soon as they wake up the next morning, they are afraid that they will feel ashamed or that they will feel like this is a mistake or that something will be triggered inside of them and they will want to just run away. And again, this has to do with this Chiron situation that we have here, this painful healing. I feel like you definitely have the upper hand in this connection. This could also be not necessarily a Chiron link, but you know, Chiron is the bridge between Pluto and Saturn. So It could be that you guys have Saturn connections or Pluto connections, Saturn, Moon, Pluto, Venus, Pluto, Sun. One of you has the upper hand, and it's usually the outer planetary person, the one that has the Saturn placement, the Pluto placement. That is the master, that is the teacher. While the other one with the personal planet, the Moon, Venus, Ascendant, Sun, that is the disciple. That is the person that is learning the deep healing lesson. So it's uncomfortable, of course, because, you know, there is something to be learned here in this connection about your personality. So the person who wants you is daydreaming about you, fantasizes about being with you and getting drunk with you and being out at a festival, at a party, at some sort of after hours event, and, you know, feeling really good with you. But unfortunately, the way in which they want to go about asking you to do that always ends up in arguments with you. It's just the dynamic that you guys have. It's meant to be, so don't take it too personally. It's meant to be so that one of you heals through that Chiron energy. At the end of the day, I feel like you give this person a lot of food for thought. You get them to think about themselves, and on some level, even arguing with you elevates them. You know, sometimes we teach people important lessons by rejecting them, by saying no to them, by arguing with them. So don't feel too guilty, you know. I mean, obviously, if you hurt another person and that person is very obviously saying you hurt me, and you see them crying, or, you know, you've made them feel really bad, obviously apologize. It's only normal, it's only empathetic. But try not to feel so attached to the fact that you had a conflict and that it's the end of the world. Conflicts sometimes are good for our personal growth. Obviously, if you have a lot of conflicts all the time, that could lead to trauma, and that should be stopped because it will affect a person's mental health and their spiritual growth in a negative way. But from time to time, or just having one conflict in one relationship, it's important. It can help free up pent-up energy. And it leads towards getting to know yourself better, and it leads towards emotional maturity. We have sometimes these difficult transits. So the person who's thinking of you, group one, and the person who really wants you at the moment is somebody that you really exist in their fantasies very strongly at the moment. For some reason, after you guys had the argument, it's like, or after you had this exchange that was heated, it's like they can't stop thinking about you. They keep daydreaming about you, especially when they rest. And I feel like this person requires a lot of rest in this period. Okay, so let me know if this resonated. This is where I leave you for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed our little sidekick soul here in the background. Thank you so much for being here, and I cannot wait to see my next one. Mwah. Bye. Hey group 2, hello my darlings. I'm so happy to have you here with a reading on the topic who wants you. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this coin. 15 bani din Republica Socialistă România din 1975. I'm sure I said a bunch of words that make no sense to you unless you're Romanian. So this is a coin from communist era Romania from 1975. I found it in a cinema. It was just at the bottom of my foot one day, and I just thought I would use it tonight in your reading. There's something here about history, legacy, maybe some sort of connection with a European country that lived through communism, potentially. The person that wants you could come from Poland, Slovakia, Romania. Maybe the half of Germany. So I feel that this individual is somebody who is quite ironic. I'm getting the energy of somebody that is, I know you're looking at my cat as well, by the way. Sol decided to kind of wake up a little bit from her sleep. She's our sidekick tonight, so let's name it as it is and move on with the reading. So I'm kind of getting the energy of an individual that, as I said, might have been or is Eastern European. A person that has a very particular sense of humor, like they have dark humor, they're very sarcastic, they're very defiant of authority, especially state-commanded authority, and they like to crack a lot of sarcastic and kind of rude jokes from time to time. Let's see the cards that you have. Today we are back at the old camera, so you might not see such great quality regarding the image, but I hope the sound is calmer and nicer, more pleasant for you to hear. We are in a period with Jupiter and Taurus, and that is all about the pleasure of the senses, so I hope I'm able to give this to you tonight. Okay, so let's see the cards that you have. Rewards. Oh, the blue bear. And this obviously makes me think of Bluebeard, the story. So the blue bear, blueberry as well. Maybe this is significant for the person. Maybe the person who wants you really likes blueberries. Abundance, bounty, and sharing are the keywords. This person could be wealthy. They could be a little bit like a bear. They could be a little bit grumpy and moody and quite tall and quite, well built, a little bit on the heftier side. Seeking knowledge. I feel like you met this person or you're about to meet them, in case you want to manifest this individual, in a place of study, a library, a bookstore, potentially in academia, in an academic environment, or university campus grounds. Maybe you met them at a lecture, at a book reading, maybe a poetry night. There seems to be something quite literate about this individual. You see, their mind is fascinating, and I think this is what attracted them to you, but I also feel that this is what they love about you too. Although I'm saying love, and love is a big word in this connection. Maybe this person is already developing feelings for you, huh? Lucky group 2. So we have wisdom searching and learning. Definitely, this person feels very hungry for you. I'm getting this energy because it is spring at the moment when I'm filming this in my part of the world. And the bears usually awaken after a 6 month period of hibernation, and they're ravenous. In springtime you need to watch out because bears really lunge forward, and whatever they can grab they eat. So there is this energy of a moody, grumpy, sleep heavy bear waking up from its cave, from so much hibernation, so many dreams and fantasies, and bursting out into the open, hunting for something, prey or something delicious to eat. So this person really, really wants you. And yeah, as I'm saying this, I'm kind of salivating as well a little bit. Also because I'm thinking of blueberries, and blueberries, especially in a pie or with some yogurt. Oh, it's just delicious. So I'm seeing here an individual that might enjoy food. They could be, as I said, a bit of a wise person, but not a wise person in the sense of they could have wisdom to impart, but a bit of a wise guy. And I'm trying not to gender it, that's why I said it in that way. Maybe wise woman, wise lady. We need a term for that, a smart cookie, something of that nature. We have here as well the 4th house roots. This is interesting because this talks about home and the homeland, the culture, but the 4th house is also history, those things that we carry from our past. It's all the house of memorabilia from our grandmothers and grandfathers, what lies hidden in the attic or the cellar, all those objects that have been handed down from generation to generation, but also the stories, the curses, the blessings, the loves, the hatreds that have been funneled down into a specific bloodline. That's the 4th house. It's the house of the soul. It's one of the most profoundest house of the zodiac, and it's the root of the zodiac basically. So it shows us who we are in private, behind closed doors. So there's something incredibly intimate about you and this person. For some of you, I'm kind of getting the energy of an ex. The person who wants you is somebody that you already lived together with. You might have been married to. You created your own intimate private world, but something happened and it might have ruined that coziness, that comfort. Let's see. We also have here Uranus, genius. I feel like what might have happened could have been relocating to another place, another city to teach, to study, a job related to academic, research related pursuits. One of you had to stay home, the other one had to travel to another part of the world to collect data, to conduct a research project. It might have lasted for months, years. I'm hearing until the stipend ran out, until the funds were consumed. So it's kind of like a connection with somebody that you were very intimate with once, then there was a long distance relationship, then it ended. Maybe because you felt the need to be physically close to somebody, or they might have decided to pull the plug on this connection. Uranus also talks about the energy of an individual who tends to come in and out of your life. It's lightning bolt energy, and you know that lightning strikes in one space and then disappears, and then another lightning strikes in another space. So that's the kind of vibration. It's very spontaneous. It takes you completely by surprise. You cannot plan with Uranus energy. You just have to be ready to face it, ready to meet it. Yeah, and I think one of you was driven a little bit crazy by this constant back and forth spontaneity, like the connection lacks stability. One of you really needed stability and could have actually relocated back to their home country in search of more stability. We have here the Two of Air. So this is the Two of Swords. This is indecision, anxious waiting. The Two of Swords also talks about a communication stalemate, like all of a sudden things were not necessarily ended, but communication took a breather, went on holiday, was nowhere to be found, went incomunicando. I hope this makes sense. So it's like you were talking, things were relatively okay, you could exchange information, but then all of a sudden everything was high up in the air. You left me, you hanged me up to dry, yeah, like in the song. So it's not over, but it's not completely working, but things are a little bit up in the air and you don't know what to do. The Two of Air, you see here, this is a sorceress creating this dance, cleansing herself with precious woods, burning them in order to free the spirit of the trappings of the mind. The Two of Air talks about trying to overcome a conflict, a mental one. The mind is struggling with the heart, and it finds no clear solution. That's why we're not going to make a decision, but we know that things cannot go on the way that they have been going. So for some of you, I feel like this is an ex. This is somebody who's waking up or awakening, if you want to call it like that, because we have Uranus here, and this is the awakener. Yeah. Somebody who's trying to drop their overthinking. Somebody who still continues to think of you very fondly. Somebody who's trying to make sense of this connection with you, who's trying to make sense of you as well, and why are you making the choices you're making. I don't think this person judges you, they just want to understand you. They're very curious, they want to get to know you. And maybe you could be laughing in a sarcastic way and throwing your head backwards going like, haha, now they want to get to know me. Why couldn't they, spend time getting to know me when we were in a connection? Because sometimes, a person needs a really provocative astrological transit in order to wake up to the things that they had. Sometimes people need to make mistakes in order to appreciate the things that were truly the greatest blessings in their lives, because we tend to take things for granted as human beings. Spirit is giving us a blessing in the shape of a person, a blessing in the shape of a sum of money, in the shape of a house, a child, a pet. And we get so accustomed to them, and we start complaining and feeling tired about taking care, the responsibility of love and the responsibility of, oh, my life is so full of things. And then something happens, a lesson breaks the stability in order for us to truly understand, I was good where I was. Yeah. But that's a humbling, beautiful point in a person's personal journey, in their spiritual journey. And once you go through something like this yourself, you find it very hard to judge it in somebody else when they sidestep or when they make a mistake. A mistake that sometimes could be very hard to forgive if you're from the outside looking in. So this is the person. This is the person who really wants you. Somebody who I think wants to come towards you and would like to apologize to you for something that they have done. A person that is just realizing something really important about the two of you. And definitely a person who really enjoys blueberries, blueberry pie, blueberries in their breakfast. Maybe also because, you know, they're strong in antioxidants and they've been recommended as a food for people who are trying to treat themselves of cancer. So it could be that this person is struggling with such an important and heavy diagnosis, and maybe they're trying to make amends. But they're still thinking of you in that erotic way, like they would like to touch you, to be close to you, to envelope you, to protect you. And that could be a little bit heartbreaking for some of you hearing this, because I feel that some of you could be quite bitter. You know, be like, why now? Why are you saying this now? It could be because you need to hear this to heal. Sometimes we need to hear these conclusions from other people rather than from the people that hurt us the most. Anyway, I hope this reading wasn't too heavy. I'm doing my best here to find comforting words to portray the image that I'm seeing. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the company of the sidekick I have behind me, my pet cat Soul. And yeah, until next time, cannot wait to be back at you with another reading. Take great care of yourself and of your heart. Hey group 3, welcome to your reading on the topic of who wants you right now. This is for those of you that were drawn to this hematite heart pendant. Hematite is quite magnetic, it's purifying, it's protective, and I hope you also enjoy the little sidekick that we have here, Soul. She's taking a very blissful nap, and she decided to kind of like put her muzzle like this. She was sleeping in your reading, so something coming straight forward at you in a very beautiful way, almost like a person rushing towards you, but with a smile on their face. They're carrying like a bouquet of flowers and they want to see you. There's something quite youthful and exuberant about the person who wants you. It's like they want you with a lot of innocence, a lot of purity. It's like, hey, I'm so happy to see you, but I also really want you. That's kind of the vibration. So I'm guessing that this could be a friend, just intuitively picking up on this energy. This could be a friend that might want to cross the boundary with you, or somebody who's friendly with you, but they might want to become your lover. This is an individual that already is developing feelings for you, because I feel like this person finds it very hard to separate their emotions from the physical act of lovemaking. They can't do that. I feel like this person is very sensitive and emotional, and it's like you can see their emotions on their face. They could get red in the cheeks when they feel ashamed, or when they feel like they've made a mistake. There is a very pronounced line on their forehead, I would imagine, when they're angry. It's very hard for this person to hide how they feel. People can usually tell just by looking at them. Oh, okay, we understand where you're where you're standing with this. So yeah, somebody who has a heart for you. And more than just a heart, if you know what I mean. But I can't say this because YouTube will smash this video into oblivion. So we have to be very careful and polite, because it's 2023, but we live in some sort of medieval repression. Anyway, in order to please the advertisers. Okay, I'll stop being sociologist snarky. Here are the cards that I have for you. Maybe this person is actually somebody who studies sociology, psychology, critical theory, a person that cracks jokes from time to time. I feel like this is an important insight, and I need to translate it for you. So we have unity, and the keywords here are connectedness, harmony, and equilibrium. This person could wear glasses. They might have contacts, because all of a sudden I could feel like my eyes were kind of drying up. They could wear contacts, so maybe their eye color is very different than the one that they usually have, or They're trying to make themselves look more pleasing aesthetically by wearing contacts, or it's more good for them. But I think normally this person would need glasses, because if not, they would be a bit like a case of being blind as a bat. Unity, I feel like this person already sees you as a whole. You're quite connected at the heart level. I feel like you have feelings for this person, they have feelings for you. You could be here asking about a crush, wondering if they want you. Yes, confirmation. Let's see. Some of you were very sneaky because you chose the heart in hopes of a very positive love message. And guess what? You're getting it. Oh my god, I love this card because it reminds me of the silent movie actress Louise Brooks. She had that phenomenal bob, and she played in a movie called Pandora's Box. So we have here winning, succeeding, victory, and outcomes. If it's not quite evocative, you see this woman carrying a hammer. And you know, a hammer could be used to destroy something, but it could be also used to open a path. You need to break through something in order to finish building, or create a new path, open a doorway, make room for something. Oh my god, and as I'm saying this, my throat is drying up. Give me a second to drink from my coffee. By the way, Ashley, if you're watching this, thank you so much for this gorgeous magical cup. Each time I drink from it, it feels like I'm honoring a goddess. Okay, so my voice is coming back. So this person wants to culminate with you, okay, if you know what I mean. The winning could be interpreted as also giving you pleasure and giving themselves pleasure in the act. It can be quite direct. But I also feel like this person wants to smash through something, maybe some prejudices. I feel like this could be a same-sex attraction. They want to smash through obstacles that could be standing in the way of you guys achieving this unity. There is something about freedom here because we have a lot of birds. Freedom to speak your mind, freedom to say exactly what you want. This person could also want to be free to kind of use some dirty talk with you, you know? Yeah, I think that they're very stimulated by words, and they would love to be free to just like call you up and ask you what it is you're wearing and take it from there, you know? Okay, so let's see the other cards. We have the Five of Earth, and we also have the Six of Water. This could be somebody that you know from a long time, a person that you grew up with, the guy next door, the girl next door, somebody that you see as a friend. Yeah, this is definitely who wants you at the moment is somebody you see as a friend, but they want definitely more than just friendship from you. Yeah, and I feel like putting my hand like this because it's like they're daydreaming, they're fantasizing about you. They could be looking, scrolling through their phones, looking at the pictures that you guys took together. When you were in this Five of Earth energy, the Five of Earth is normally the energy of going through a bout of victimizing yourself, having a moment of low self-esteem, and maybe you guys tended to reach out for each other when you were feeling low. I feel like this is the energy of two people that used to talk a lot to make themselves feel better. You might have been drinking buddies, or maybe you like to go lunching together or studying together. I feel like you guys had an activity, or you have an activity where you do something together. Maybe, I don't know, you smoke a blunt together or something, and you relax and you talk about the things that are causing you anxiety. Yeah, Five of Coins. You talk a lot about your fears, your worries, your doubts to this person, and I think that's what brought you so close. This sense of feeling like you're free to talk about your feelings, feelings that might not be appreciated by other people around you. Because there is this pressure to be increasingly positive and, you know, no bad vibes in this neo-capitalist environment. So I am seeing here an individual that has developed feelings for you over a period of time. And that's why the feelings run very deep. This is deep waters here. Yeah. Cancer, Cancer, Cancerian energy, the crab, and the Five of Earth, Virgo or Capricorn energy as well. A person that could be undergoing some sort of physical change at the moment. For some of you, this could be a same-sex connection in which one of you wants to get a sex operation, a sex change operation, or might want to just enhance their body in some way. Yeah. Let's see the other cards that you got. We also have here Taurus, So it seems like Jupiter in Taurus is really favoring you at the moment. I am filming this reading under a Jupiter in Taurus sky. Jupiter has just entered Taurus, and you might see it in the future. So maybe Jupiter will be in a completely different sign, but I feel that it will strongly resonate to you or with you, because either you or the object of your affection, the person who wants you, is a Taurian. Yeah. And I mean, Taurians are physically beautiful. They're quite stubborn. They're delightful, especially when you go out and you eat with them, or you drink with them, or you just shop with them. They're excellent advice givers when you shop. They're people who look for quality in life. They are artistic. They like to take things slow. They're very good with money. They're excellent financial advisors. You should always take advice from a Taurus if you want to open a savings account or reinvest your I don't know, savings, your bonds, your stocks. They're very good with money in general, and property and values and objects. But they could also be a little bit dogmatic, my way or the highway. Very hard to convince otherwise, very hard to think of more progressive ways. How should I put this in a PR way? Like, their stubbornness is related to the fact that they want to maintain a simple life, simple values, simple things. And they could be very much against complications, or complex systems of thinking, or interesting progressive ideas, So that's why Taurians, they make good friends with air signs, but not so good lovers for the long run. Although with Libras is a different thing, because a Taurus and a Libra are quite Epicureans when they meet. So it could be one of those connections. You could both be ruled by Venus, or at least the person who wants you is ruled by Venus. Quite a sturdy, physically quite attractive, classic good looks, or a person who's trying to, especially if they're trying to get an operation, they could be trying to achieve this classic good looks. I want to look like a real man or a real woman, or an ideal man, an ideal woman, better said. So somebody that is, I feel like a person that you've been knowing for a while now, and Taurians tend to have these long-term connections. We also have Black Moon Lilith mystery. Yeah, so a very oppositional energy. Black Moon Lilith is an agent of chaos. She is mystery incarnate. She is destruction, but also she has this phoenix-like energy. Out of destruction, I reform myself. I create myself anew. Lilith as an entity, as a demoness, as a dark angel, as a spirit, was considered to be the one that went to sleep in ruins, in the ruins of cities that were destroyed, in the ruins of a broken family, in what happened on the battleground after the war ended. So she would sleep there and change the energy. So this is somebody who I feel kind of made contact with the darker side of life, might have gone through something quite intense in their life, but they also feel like this almost like obsessive pull towards you. They could be having very rich, dark, erotic, fantasies with you, and they're only growing, because I see here the sliver of the new moon in the background. You guys could be having some sort of Sun Lilith, Venus Lilith, Pluto Lilith, Mars Lilith placements, in which case you know, Lilith points of contact and a connection are very intense because you want that person so badly, but at the same time, you're kind of repulsed by the desire. You want to destroy the desire. It's kind of the same energy where I'm sure that you guys are familiar with witch hunts and all the trauma that happened to women in the past. But paradoxically, those very people that used to traumatize women that they labeled as witches were also incredibly attracted to them at the same time. So it's the same kind of vibration, you know, dogma and punishment, but also incredible attraction that is considered to be something shameful. Right? Yeah. So I feel like this individual is kind of trying to work through some sadomasochistic values in the way in which they approach the objects of their desires. There is a certain boundary, there is a certain moral boundary between the two of you, and I think this is caused by the friendship. In some cases, because I know this is a general reading, I'm also picking up on the energy of somebody at work that really wants you and has all the characteristics that I mentioned previously, but they don't want to cross a line. They don't want to upset the people at HR. They just think it would be dangerous to start a workplace relationship because they don't want to endanger their stability at work. You know, they don't want to bring this chaotic, Lilith-like energy into the mix. Yeah, so this is what I have for you. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you got a glimpse of who this person might be. Comment down below and let me know if it resonated. I hope you enjoy the presence of our little sidekick over here. If I put my palm like this, it looks like she's being held, like I'm just holding her head. This is so weird. If she had a costume in the background, that would have been really interesting. Anyway, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you next time. Take excellent care of yourself and your heart. And yeah, till next time.